Debra, this is your second lesson. There's definitely some improvement here. We'll highlight some of the things. It's better posture, and this is actually a good setup. I think if you look at where you started last week, it's definitely better. This is flatter in through here. So take it back. And we talked about this during the lesson, so this is kind of a restating what we need to work on. Well, first of all, you made a good observation. If you just look at this swing, and this is the advantage of a video, is there was an oh shit moment when you saw the swing. And without video, we can't stop it and determine what it was that didn't look right to you. So what it was unnecessary movements, and there's no real structure here. Your head goes, you can see your ear move, goes up, and then it should go, then it dives down and forward. And then you do a nice job of coming back, and then you're kind of standing up at impact. And you get to this pose, which that's the oh shit moment. Because that isn't, and it's good that you pick up on it. We'll dive in and show you again what's causing that movement that you don't quite like. So you're not really turning around your spine. Well, first of all, there's two things going on here. One is swing plane that we need to improve, and the other is the body rotation, turning around the spine. So let's look at the on-plane issue. See how this club face is pointed down. It should be toe up at this spot. It's in a pretty good position. It's like right on your hands, and your hands have moved really in a good direction, as opposed to being thrown from your body. So it's a good movement, except the club faces pointing down. It means you don't have an arm rotation. You're going to fight being too steep. It's a little steep here, but you can get by with that if you've got a good backswing. I like to see you stop it right there. That's a pretty good spot. From there, you get kind of a flying elbow. See how the elbow goes out, and the club goes way across. Club should be pointed out, almost behind your hands here in this direction. And the problem being across the line is you start down way too steep. This last red arrow should be pointed at the ball. Now, you're a good athlete, so at this point, you flatten it out, and you over-corrected here. It's above the ball. So you have to move the club shaft from this red line to the green line perfectly, mid-swing. No one can do that. So what we want to do is keep it on plane. And, like I said here, if you get your elbow from here and get the angle to the elbow down like this, that club's going to be perfect. So we want to keep your elbows close together. That's the thought. Now back to the motion that you don't particularly like is that, let me get rid of some of this stuff here. See, you come a little bit away from the back wall on the back swing, but then on the downswing, see how your hip pockets, we call it belt buckle to the ball. So you've moved like 3 inches off the wall here. And you're going to lose your spine angle. You start with this, what I think is a pretty good spine angle here. Spine angle is basically this line. See how it address. Now because your hip pockets are coming away from the back wall, you've got to come out of the spine angle. See how you're hitting? This is the new spine angle. And that left cheek never makes it back to the back wall. And then it gets locked here. And when it gets locked, that's what's causing the chicken wing. See that? Let me show you what this should look like. Okay, so take away, see how toe of the club is up. That means his forearms have rotated properly. And it's going to be easy for us to see how he keeps it on plane. He goes up, and he stops it right there. You've got it down this direction. So now, when he starts down, see how his right cheek is back against the back wall? As he starts down, he's all on plane. He's pointed at the ball. And all he has to do is get back to this point where we started in the takeaway, and it impacts his left cheek goes here. So when he hits, he's got this, his spine angle actually gets better than addressed. So then he hits through. But he keeps that cheek. And the way the hips move is they clear like this, then he swings through, then he releases it. So there's no real chicken wing in here. So you come through here. His club's behind his hands. You're just kind of out here. Now you're kind of cutting across it, losing your spine angle away from the wall, and get to this position where he just keeps turning. Bam, bam. And that's the reason you have your chicken wing is your left hip has stalled out. It gets right here and it stalls, and then you end up with that. So those are the reasons that the motion overall, even though there's some good components in the swing, looks a little bit different, as you pointed out. So again, I'll just give you this video. Let this play through. And the more times you watch this, the better you're going to understand the swing. Let's quickly look at the other dimension. You can see the body turn isn't quite what we want. See, this is great backswing turn. Really good. See how the shoulders behind the ball, it's under your chin. We could use a little more width here, which basically means you want to keep this thing ramrod straight. But see that right shoulder just appears behind your head? Really good. This angle is pretty good here too. So I mean, this body turn looks pretty good, but as you come down, it's all upper body. See, at this point, you really haven't moved your lower body. Then you go into this left hip gets stuck in the way, and you end up with the famous chicken wing. I'll play this thing through. So he starts with the lower body, and watch how he pushes off. So the first move down is actually a push off the right instep. Now watch this area right here. So this is the top of the swing. You and I can't get to the top where he is, but we can get to here. Now watch as he comes down. Watch this. Really, his lower body is moving. So he's probably, what is that? His hands are even with his shoulders, and he's probably 3 inches away there. At an impact, he's a foot away. See how that left hip is getting out of the way? So he can get to this spot. Yeah, as opposed to this spot. And see how you don't really get any push off from that right instep. You're initiating the downswing with your hands, and that's no bueno. As you come down, watch that right knee still hasn't moved. Now it's kicked in, and the heel's stuck on the ground. That's why you can't get that left hip out of the way. See, it's still stuck. Whereas he pushes off the right instep, rolls the right foot, and when he gets to here, he releases the heel. He gets up to this. With his heel showing me the sole of his club from behind, sole of his shoe from behind, allows that left hip to continue on, as opposed to it's stuck on the ground. You really haven't even rolled the right foot, and then you're not in a position to come up to the toe. We kind of do, way late, but not to this extent. So you want to pose at the end, hold your follow through. See. So